Hey, Tony Jackson here. Now, I was made aware about something called polygyny, and it looked like multiple wives. And somebody sent me a page on it, and I went to the page and I was looking at it and looking at some of the videos, and well, I could say it's a mess. It's a mess. Just like I assume. Listen, I'm in a relationship with one woman, and it ain't easy. It ain't easy because you two different humans, and you have different feelings, you have different triggers, you have different traumas. You give me a second woman, man. Listen. See, I love too deeply, and I care too deeply. My heart can't be split between two women. A man could have love for two women, but a man cannot be in love with two women. A man can have feelings for two women, but a man cannot be in love. And again, I was watching the page, and the gentleman say he grew up and he started working out because his mother was in a relationship with his father and going through domestic violence. That's why I try to tell y'all. One of the wives saying she got a lot of triggers. When she get criticized, she feel like she being attacked. And it could just be a suggestion. Again, trauma, childhood trauma. One of the other wives could see it on her spirit. Listen, this stuff is growing. It's growing. And the reason why I'm addressing it because, and then here come a lady in the comments on Instagram, and she made like it's just the normal and it's just the good and it could be beneficial. Yeah, it could be beneficial if you are a lonely woman and you are desperate for love and you do not want to die alone and you are afraid that you're never going to meet a man for you, and you've given up hope, you've given up trust, you don't believe in the one and only true God, which the lady who came in the comments does not believe in the one and only true God, then yeah, it could be good. It sound good in that case. But not if you got any sense. It don't sound good. And like I told you, men know men. When I seen the brother, I know. That explain it. That explain it right there. That explain it right there. That's the, listen, it's one type of man that get into that stuff. Listen to me. The type of men that get into that polygyny was the type of man who was never him. Meaning, the type of men that get into that stuff are men who were never that guy, pal. And this is what I'm trying to, and I don't try to say that condescendingly. I'm just trying to say it's from insecurity. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's from insecurity. And when a man hear this, he know it. Men know men. It's from insecurity. It's from childhood trauma. It's from pain. It is not from a healed, healthy, whole place. Listen, the fleshly side of me, if I let my flesh run wild and I watch pornography and I, did all kind of stuff and I got in all kind of stuff, that side of the flesh would want to be with two women. But I think about it right now, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I think about it right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. right now, I could cheat. Right now, I don't got on my wedding ring. I'm going to the gym, and I got 2 Cartier rings, and they like a thick gold, and my fingers swell when I'm working out. So me and my wife don't wear our ring. She got one of the little rubber rings she'll wear, but I lost mine, and so I could cheat. Well, other than my finger having an indent from wearing the ring all the time, I could cheat right now and say that I'm not married. But here's the thing, and I process this sometimes in my mind. When I'm on the road and I'm in a hotel. I just was on the road, I think last week, and I'm in a hotel by myself, and I try to process like, man, I'm out here in Atlanta. I was in Atlanta. I'm like, man, I could go out to Lenox Mall, blase, spit a little game, and because I know the state of women, I could go to the mall and spit game to a woman and take her right back to my hotel and sleep with her that night. Now, the one risk of that is it's a possibility she could know me. I don't meet too many black women that have not heard of who I am, because my message has reached tens of millions of people, and we only got X amount of million of black women. So there are some who don't know my face and have seen my quote, but don't know me personally, don't know my face. So that's the risk, because I've been getting recognized everywhere I go by the most randomest people. But when I think about that, because when I was in college, and I was telling my son about this the other day, when I was in college, I'd be in the club and I'd start dancing with a woman, dancing with a Caucasian woman, whisper in her ear, hey, you want to go to the car? Go to the car, back seat. Well, bound, thank you, ma'am, back in the club. Get one out the club, back to the hotel room. Well, bound, thank you, ma'am. One night stands. I was in West Virginia. It was only 1% black, so the only pickings you had really was white women. And one night stand. My freshman year, 28 different women. My freshman year. Listen, when you done live that kind of life, you don't want no 2 women. You don't want no 2 women, because you done been out there. You done been around. And you realize that it's vain and it's vexation of spirit, like the Bible say. And you realize that you don't need 2 women. You realize that you can't even handle 1 woman. You realize that. So while I'm sitting there in the hotel room and I think about, man, I could go spit game to a woman. And it's so many women that's under the mindset, I'd rather a man be honest. Just say what you want. So 50% of women, if a man walk up to her and say, hey, you are beautiful, and I want to make love to you tonight, what's up? 50% of women gonna say, really? Okay. You know what? I appreciate your honesty. And you look good to me too. So take my number and we'll meet up in a few hours. 50% of women gonna oblige that. You know why? Because I used to do it. When I was in college, I used to do it. I was that blunt. I was that straight up. And that is how I married my wife. Because as I'm looking around at women, I'm like, man, that is not doing their job. Because I'm like, every woman I approach, I could sleep with her in the first night until I met my wife. And I met 2 other women right before my wife that did not sleep with me on the first night. But one of them was an Oreo away from being too heavy for me to lift. And back then, I was nasty. And so I like to flip and toss and do lifting. And she was an Oreo away. And I said, listen, I ain't gonna be able to. I'm like, these thighs here, ooh, woo, it look good. Nah, but I ain't gonna be able to do it. And then I was thinking about it. Cause listen, you gotta remember, I'm 21 years old. So this real thoughts that I'm giving you from a man that a lot of women can't appreciate, because the truth, you say, oh, I want the truth, but the truth too real. I thought to myself, I say, listen, if I get this woman pregnant and her thighs is already here, a black woman, a lot of black women I know gain 40 to 120 pounds during pregnancy. And after they have that baby, a good amount of that weight don't come off. So at 21 years old, that's how I'm thinking. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna better do it. So she ain't let me sleep with her the first night, but she wasn't what I was looking for. And it wasn't even as much about her body build as it was her attitude. She always wanted to debate. Everything I say, she debate. She say the opposite. And she was not used to being with a guy that had been him. She was used to being with a guy that was like overlooked, and you know, he was on the football team, but women didn't really like him because whatever, how he looked or whatever. So that was her ex-boyfriend. So she was used to talking down to somebody, and I wasn't that guy. I wasn't in that place. And the next woman I met that didn't let me sleep with her in the first night, she was 10 years my senior. So I thought about that, and I'm like, man, she 10 years my senior. She okay looking, like she decent looking, but I don't know. She wake up the wrong way one day. It's a possibility she could look at me and I could get scared. And I'm like, I'm looking for a woman that I could wake up to and she's still gonna look decent. Like, I do not want to lay down with Janet and wake up next to Freddie or Tito. I do not want to do that, because I want to get married and I want to be faithful. So if she go from Janet Jackson to Tito Jackson, I'm gonna struggle. And so I was looking for natural beauty that just came together the right way. And then that young lady, I hung out with her, great personality, amazing energy, but she didn't shave her legs. And at that time, I shaved my legs because I was a college athlete playing football. So we all shaved our legs if we grew hair on our legs. If we had werewolf, teen wolf legs, we shaved our legs to look more athletic. So I was getting ready to stop shaving my legs because I got kicked off my football team, so I wasn't playing football. But she ain't shaved her legs. And at 21 years old, I hear women who older saying, oh, you ain't got to shave your leg as long as you're clean. All right, keep telling yourself that. You finna have one of these brothers like the doctor that say he want him 2 queens. That type of man might be okay because you finna be one of many. But a man who wanna suck toes and lick up that leg and keep on going, and don't be licking across all no hair. Licking across. Trying to lick up the leg that going all the way up there. And swallowing hair. It's like, come on now. And oh, well, God let us grow it, so it's meant to be there. Listen, it's a lot of stuff we got that ain't meant to. God didn't give us no toothpaste. So that means we meant to walk around with stank breath? God ain't make toothpaste. Man made toothpaste. God ain't make hair grease. God ain't make face wash. So what, we supposed to walk around with dry, cracked skin? So it's like, listen, God made man so man could create the inventions that man need. And that's why he gave us a brain, because he knew we'll figure out what we need. And man done created a razor. And man done created laser hair removal for a reason. It's just some things ain't supposed to be somewhere. And so listen, those was the 2 women that I met. And there was 2 black women. Now I'm gonna tell you the truth. And I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. When I was a young man, and yes, I was young, I met a black girl one time who she was from the hood. She was in the streets, and so a lot of the women was black girls who I slept with on the first night. One of them, she was older than me at the job. She came on to me, told me what she wanted to do to me. And now, as it relates to white women, I never met a white woman that said no. Never met a white woman that didn't sleep on the first night. And I don't know if it just was the lure of a black man, but that's my truth. Or just fear, or intimidation, or blacker the berry, sweeter the juice, or the thrill, or whatever it was. And so that's the truth, and that's a little bit of difference. And then the black women that was like first nighters, it was typically they had been through pain and trauma, or didn't have a father. It wasn't like a common thing. A lot of black women look at you like you crazy. You try them. But now those were the two that I could remember, but it was more than that, especially in high school and college. But I can't go through 100+ experiences on one video. And when I met my wife, she had nice skin. The other two ladies had nice skin. She took care of herself. Fingernails was done. Eyebrows was done. She didn't wear makeup. And her skin was taken care of. Of course, she was 19, so baby face. And she was pretty in the face. She's pretty. And she shaved her legs. Shaved her legs good. And my wife, she wasn't like, she didn't have like a flat stomach. She had a normal stomach. It wasn't like an 8-pack of abs or nothing like that. She didn't have a big booty. Like it was normal. And she was there. Uh-oh. Y'all forgive me. Seen the wrong road. Lord, let not know. Nail just went in my towel. Lord, please don't let no nail been picked up. I'm headed to the gym outside of my house. And this what happened. And so it wasn't like, my wife wasn't a fantasy. And I was looking for like a one-night stand. I was still playing around. I wasn't necessarily looking for a wife. And I thought she was Hispanic at first. And then she told me she was Jamaican. Black Jamaican, Indian Jamaican. So I'm like, oh, okay, your mama is black like me. So I'm gonna get credit for being with a black woman. So, okay, cool. And her conversation, her attitude, her demeanor, everything was like a wife. And that's how I didn't pick her because she was light skinned. I picked her because I was looking in the mall for somebody to sleep with. And then find out she was a wife. And that's what got to be understood. And so that's what I want you to understand is, as a man, when you move around, you look around, it's easy to get women when you done been him. And so when you done had women, you actually looking for a woman that's not easy. You looking for a woman that know her value, that know her worth. That's what you looking for. And the guys who were seen as, and this is, I don't condone the terminology, but it's guys who were seen as lame. It's guys who were seen as scrawny. It's guys who were seen as unattractive. It's guys who were seen as too dark or too light or too feminine or too this and that, too chubby. Those guys are growing up, and it's those guys that's saying they want to be in polygyny because they missed that sow your wild oats in adolescence. And if you ever see a man that you say this man is tall, dark, handsome, or tall, light, handsome, masculine, muscular, all this and amazing, and he in polygyny, look into his past. Look into his past. And you're gonna find the trauma. And you're gonna see what drive him there. But I'm telling you, as a man who can have multiple wives. I can have multiple wives. I can go find those women. From dealing with the amount of women that I done dealt with, I know the women who will be okay being multiple wives. And the ones I seen on the page, they look just like the type of women that'll be okay being one of two wives. And because it's a look that come to it, because the world treat us based on how the world sees us. And that's what people ain't understanding. So a lot of this stuff is degenerative behavior. It's a behavior that comes from being taken advantage of, being used and abused, being mistreated, being ostracized, alienated, left out, being hurt. This is not natural. This is not normal. Oh, that's your nature. It's the nature to replenish the earth. But once you find somebody you can replenish the earth with, you don't need to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You don't need to have 2. Because we can't please one. I get on my wife's nerves every day. What am I look like with 2 women? I'm gonna have 2 women mad with me. And have 2 women like, man, you getting on my nerves. Please, get out the way. It's like, what am I look like? And then, when you could please 2 women, it's because you giving both of them half of you. You ain't give them all of you. Because when you give a human all of you, part of you gonna get on that human nerve sometimes. Because all of us have that in us. And that's what we got to know and realize. I just missed my wealth call. I got a call with a wealth manager. About to talk to them, see how much they steal from you. And God bless you. And we'll be in touch. And I just pull up to the gym. Talk soon.